Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's resume our discussion where we left it yesterday. We are discussing the pre-release material of 2019, and in our last class, we worked on the background of this given scenario. We discussed it in details, and we also worked out the solution for the task number one. If you have not attended that class, it is available on the YouTube and you can take that lesson again to have your understanding about the situation and the task one. Now we will move on today to solve the task number two, and on the screen you can see the entire question paper, and we move on to the heading that says task 2, and it asks about buyer's bid. He says a buyer should be able to find an item and view the item number, description, and the current highest bid. When a person is ready to choose an item or it has decided to attempt on buying a particular item, he should have the details available about that item, covering its item number, the description of that product, and what is the current offer that someone has given to buy that product. A buyer can then enter their buyer number and bid. Then he should be able to give his offer on buying amount along with his buyer ID, which must be higher than any previously recorded bids, and his offer should be greater than the previous bid. That means the older offer should be available to read at some point. Every time a new bid is recorded, the number of bids for that item is increased by one, okay? And buyers can bid for an item many times and for many items. That means there is no restriction that one buyer can only buy one item, or one buyer cannot buy multiple items, or a one buyer cannot bid two times. Suppose there was a cycle, its reserve price was 14. I gave the offer of 16, but then some other person came and they gave the bid of 18 and 20, and I still want to buy that, so I can give another offer of 22. That is the situation the task 2 explains, and it asks us that our coding now should be able to handle what is demanded in the task number 2. Let's move to the coding into the VB's software, and I have already coded that scenario, but before explaining that, I will open that VB for you. Here it is. And first I will show you the output that is related to the task number 1. I play this and there will be an output screen, and I share that screen with you. Here it is. Now you can see on the screen it says, remember that I will explain the output that is based on the coding of task number 1. It is at start asking us enter the number of items. This is the input that is going to be entered into the software before the start of the auction. That means there is some computer operator who has listed all details on a page about the items he has to offer today, and now he will enter before the auction time starts. And suppose we enter the 3. I explained in the last lesson that I have changed in the coding the number 10 by 3 so that it takes less time by us to enter the values, and it will accept 3 for the time being. So I am saying that, or suppose I say that I have one item and it will say error, item must be minimum 10 and please re-enter. Now if I give 3, it will accept it, and now we are due to provide the details of 3 items. The first item is, it says item number for the first item is auto generated and it is 1. And what is your product? I say kids cycle, is my product, and it asks me what is your reserve price. I say I want to sell it minimum for $25, and it says okay. Your number of bids will be set to 0 because the auction has not started. And now it asks you that the next item is now number generated as 2. What is this item? I say it is a computer. What is its reserve price? It is $50, and it says the number of bids are again set to 0. And now coming to the last item, he says again what is description. I say it is a school bag. And what is its reserve price? I want to sell it for 10. Now, the details for the three items are received, and now it says data recording is completed successfully. The screen is showing you the inputs, and now the last line it says press any key to proceed. Here we press a key, and now in the first three lines you can see the item number 1, kids cycle, and its number of bids are 0. Then item number 2 and 3, the computer and the school bag, and its bids are again 0 and 0. List of all item is displayed. Now this is the screen which is visible over a machine similar to say an ATM machine that you have seen in the banks, and that ATM machine is placed inside the auction hall. I am a buyer. I approach that machine and I have decided that I should bid for the kids cycle. It says, do you want to bid? I come close to that machine and it is now available to me, and it is showing, do you want to bid? Enter Y for yes. I enter Y, and now the first question by that machine is enter your buyer number. I say my buyer number is 2111, and it asked me enter product number to bid, and I say I can see on the screen 1, 2 and 3 cycle, computer and bag, and I say that I want to bid for the product number 1. And he asked me what is your bid amount. I say okay, my bid amount is 27. Oh, he says, okay, fine, your bid is registered. Do you want to bid again? And I say, I move away from the machine now because my offer has been stored. Then there comes some buyer number 2, buyer number 3, and between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., this do you want to bid continues again and again. And when it is 5 p.m., the operator of that machine now enters N. The bidding is now closed, and based on all the inputs it says sold item number 1. That means the item number 1 is sold and its bid value is 27. That means it is sold for 27 and is sold to buyer number 2111. This is the summary. It is one line because we have used only one bid. If you continue why when it asks, do you want to bid? Yes, yes, you can input for 40 times and then you close it by pressing the N, and you will see there are so many lines about, but the highest bid will be shown over here, and what is shown in the next line is the task number 3. So I don't explain the further lines now, and after explaining you this output, let's come back to the coding area. Here we are. This is the coding you can see on the screen. It starts with the dim items as integer. I explained the task 1 coding in my yesterday's lesson, and now I will move on to the point from where the task number 2 starts. This list of all items is displayed. That is the last boundary line for the coding of task number 1. And now moving on, you can see there is a series of dims. There is buyer number, there is item number, bid price, choice, and there are two arrays, highest bid and the buyer. These are the declarations which are going to be used in the solution for the task 2. And it starts with a do loop. When I click on the do, there will be loop in some next line. Here you can see over here, this is loop. This will repeat, and what is inside this loop is the main coding of your task number 2. I have highlighted it to show you. At the start it says console.writeLine, do you want to bid? And you will enter y or n, and that will be stored in the variable choice. Now if you have entered uppercase y, or if you have entered the lowercase y, that is the correct input, and then it will ask you enter your buyer number, and it will be stored in buyer no. Enter the product number you want to bid, it will be stored in item number. And when you enter the item number, it will also ask you within another do loop, enter your bid amount. That will be stored in the bid price, but it will also check one thing, that is loop until your bid price is greater than the highest bid. If your offer is greater than the last bid given, then your input will be accepted, and in the number of bids for the item number 1, its bids will be incremented by 1. So it keeps on counting how many people have given an offer for this product. If your bid is lesser than this one, then the bids will not be incremented, and this loop will again take you back to the do, and it will ask you again enter your bid amount. It will not let you go until and unless your offer is greater than the previous value. Then if the bid price is greater than the highest bid, then it will replace that old offer with your offer. And how it will happen, if the bid price is greater than the old highest one, then the highest bid is equal to bid price. These two lines will swap your offer into the area where the previous highest bid was stored. And also it will note down your buyer number, because now you are supposed to be the buyer of that product, and your buyer number will be needed later. So in the array of buyer numbers, we save your buyer number, and this if is connected with this and if. And this three set of inputs will continue for every time a person says, yes, I want to bid. And there is no for loop that only 25 offers or 50 offers are available. This will continue from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and there can be hundreds of bids. When this loop closes, then there are some calculations, as you can see on the next for loop. That for loop will print your offers. For m is equal to 1 to item number, console.writeLine item number description and number of bids. That is to show the buyers item number description for every item. Along with, you can also have an idea that if an item is having many number of bids, that means this is an item of demand. And when this loop shows the all details, it says write any key to continue. Okay, that means console.clear, and then it moves on. Moving on, having more variables declared, and then it says for count is equal to 1 to items. It sets false in the entire loop, that is an array with the name of sold. It means at the start of the auction, we are storing the word false in the sold array for all the items. That means no item is sold. But in the next line, what we are going to fix is for count is equal to 1 to items. That means for 1 to 12, if the highest bid is greater than reserve price, if someone has given an offer that is greater than the reserve price, then the first thing to do is change the status of that item in the sold array with the word true. That means that now this item is almost sold. If no one gives a better offer, still this item has got an offer that is over the reserve price. So at 5 p.m. it is confirmed to be sold. Next, console.writeLine sold item number one, the bid value, that is something it will be shown. As you have seen, it showed us that the cycle has been sold. That line is generated based on this console.writeLine. Then for count is equal to 1 to items. Now we are going to do something that is relating to the task number 3. So I will not explain it in our today's lesson. I have planned only to remain within the task number 2. So far, what is explained is in the task number 2, and I will once again run that program to show you the results for one more time. Here is the output screen, and here it is shared. Now in this screen it is asking you enter number of items, and you have 2 items. It will not accept because it is fixed to have at least 3 items. Now it is asking for enter description of the item. I say a laptop of make HP. What is the reserve price? $20. Okay, its number of bids are set to 0 because no one has given an offer. Now, item number 2, what is the description? I say shoes, and I want to sell them for $10. And the last item, what it is going to be, a Samsung cell phone, and I want to sell it for $20. So the 3 items are recorded in, it is a laptop for 20, it is a shoes for 10, and again it is a phone for 20. Now it says press any key, that is to clear that screen. Here the screen goes, and you can see the 3 items on top of the screen as a display. Again, to recall you, this is the screen of a machine like an ATM machine. The people are queued with this machine to put up their offer. And suppose now it's my turn, and there is an operator sitting along the machine to see that no wrong or fake input is provided. And now I first of all entered that yes, I want to purchase it. It asked me my buyer number. I have my buyer number 1001, and I want to buy the product number 1, and I have the offer of say $50. Okay, my offer is stored. I repeat again, and I give my buyer number of 1001, and I give the product number to bid as 2, and I give $100 offer, and I purchase the item number 2 also. Now I give yes again. My buyer number is 1001, and I want to buy the product number 3, and I give $120 as offer, and now I say I don't want to repeat, and here you can see all the 3 items are allocated to me. It says item number 1 with the value 50 is sold to buyer number this. Item number 2 bid value 100, again sold to 1001. Item number 3, the bid value 120, again sold to 1. That means I have picked up all the 3 items. If between the 9 to 5 someone came and gave a better offer, this allocation will be changed. Try yourself, and you will see the highest bidder will be shown on this final calculation. And what is below is that is based on the task number 3, that will be in our next lesson. So this is all about the task to take it seriously, try to understand the logics that are used in the programming, and once you are done with it, we will then move to the task number 3 and our next lesson. For now, that's all, and see you again.